Hi, I'm Kelly Thomas. Welcome to Ingenious Baby. Every week I'll interview leading experts to help you help your child reach their full potential so that your child can become all that they were born to be.
Welcome to this baby.
Have you ever felt inadequate creating and singing a lullaby to your baby? Today we're here with Thomas Cabaniss, a composer, teaching artist, and co-founder of the Lullaby Project at Carnegie Hall, a program that pairs musicians with new and expectant mothers to create personal lullabies for their babies. He's here to give us tips about how to create and share a lullaby with our own baby to build connection and brain cells. Thomas, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Tell us, what is the Lullaby Project?
So it started several years ago working at a hospital in the Bronx, Jacobi Hospital. We were doing songwriting workshops with kids who had chronic HIV. And that songwriting project was very inspiring to sort of the hospital community. And it so happened that one day, members of the obstetrics unit came and attended one of the songwriting presentations, and afterwards they said, "This is amazing, this is terrific, we'd love to have something like this, especially for our pregnant teens who are on our unit, because they have a special challenge in attaching to their baby, in attaching to their child. Could you consider doing such a songwriting project as this with them?" And we said, well, we could, absolutely, but also, what about lullabies? It seemed at that moment that there was a chance to do something with the form of a lullaby that might do exactly what they were looking for, which is to help increase the bond between a young parent and a child.
You have, I've seen you've done some research papers on this. How does music impact an infant's development?
What we've really discovered is that brain growth starts, of course, in utero, that children are far more sensitive to their environment than we realize, that they're listening to things and feeling things right from the beginning of conception, and that goes through birth, and that, the moment that a child comes out, there is a very special relationship that the child has to the mother's voice. Why? Because the voice has really been kind of, it's been the physical instrument that the child has gotten used to. So mothers often in the Lullaby Project will say, "Oh, I can't sing," or "I don't sing," or "My child doesn't want to hear my voice." But neuroscientifically, that's not true. Regardless of the musical talent, the baby really does want to and responds to the mother's voice in a way that is, I hate to say it, I'm a father, but very different from their relationship to the father's voice, because they've actually been living inside the instrument for the 9 months of pregnancy.
So that was the question I had. So my husband's a professionally trained opera singer. I am literally tone deaf. So my fear is that my children would be better off listening to a CD of Pavarotti versus my singing voice. What is the impact if a mom has a bad singing voice on the future musicality of their child?
And we know that it's more important that the special quality and timbre of your voice be present in the interaction. It's more important than whether you're singing in tune, more important than if you're feeling insecure. What's most important is the special sound quality of your voice, of your speaking voice and your singing voice. So I would say, put the CDs away and talk and read and sing to your child. That's what neuroscience tells us. That's really more important than anything. But it's good that you've got some opera singers in that.
I do. I know. I think my son has the opera lungs. He got the loud opera voice. So lullaby in particular. Why a lullaby versus other kinds of music for stimulation?
Well, I think all kinds of music is great for stimulation, but what's special about a lullaby is that it is this intimate space where soothing is important. That's the goal, right? Is to put the child to sleep or to soothe their nerves, to calm them. That's really, really important. And so it becomes a space that the mother and the child, or it doesn't have to be the mother, right? Now that the child is born, it can be the father, it can be the family, it can be a sister or brother. But the lullaby space is a place that where really you're able to you're able to share intimate and be close. Your intimate ideas, you can be close, and the um, the form itself can contain a lot. It really can contain encouragement, hope for future wishes. It can be a place where the lullaby singer is expressing anything: frustration, love, connection. There's so many different possibilities, and so what's nice about it is that it's a short form. To create a new lullaby, you don't have to go to songwriting school, right? All you need is a little phrase. You don't even necessarily need words, right? Because sometimes the most beautiful lullabies are the ones that are just hummed or whistled or sung with syllables. They don't even really have to be with words. Though words, obviously create a lot of possibility.
If there's a lot of moms who want to sing to their babies, but they don't for various reasons, can you help give us a step-by-step of how we would do that at home if they don't know really what to do or how to do it?
Sure. One of the things that we encourage moms to do in the Lullaby Project is to actually start from a place, where they're comfortable. And one of those places might be swaying, right? That's something that we all do to help kids fall asleep. I don't know how you've experienced it. When I was a new dad, I was constantly rocking back and forth. I felt like I lived on a ship. So to start with a sway, and to then find a sound that might accompany that. And it might not be, a full-blown song yet, right? But if you're swaying back and forth, and it's just something as simple as a little humming and swaying can get you started. But if the child is born and has been named, right, use the name. Because it could be, we have this really beautiful lullaby that was written in the project that really just uses the name of the child. The child was, Noah, Noah, and all just really based on the child's name. So if you've got the humming going, and then you have just the name, you've already got the building blocks for a personalized lullaby. Now, maybe you want to then begin to add things that are, from around the room, right? You've got some flowers back there, and so it could be Noah, Noah, you've got flowers and a bunny. I think there's a bunny there, right? And so just improvising using really kind of visual stimuli from around the room, and you can already begin to build a little lullaby, and that could be part of your repertoire, right? Maybe you want to sing some Twinkle Twinkle. You'll probably remember a whole host of songs that your family shares.
Can you share any inspirational stories of some of the women who have gone through the Lullaby Project, of how it's either benefited them with the bond with their child or maybe impacted the child's development?
Sure. Well, in our very first Lullaby Project, we were working with a group of teenagers. They were anywhere from 15 to 17 years old, and they were pregnant, and many of them were very self-judgmental. They had encountered a lot of a judgment from their community and from members of their family, and they had a complicated time. And so one interesting thing that happened was that the group, they were writing individual lullabies for their children, but as they talked to each other and as they encouraged each other, they became friends, and they realized that they had similar kinds of issues. And they, outside of the lullaby group, they began to form a little network with one another. And in the truth, it's not that different if you think about many middle-class parents will go to some kind of Lamaze or breathing class, some kind of prep class for going through the birth process. Well, this provided that kind of community for them, and it meant they had somebody to talk to. And about a year or two later, we found out that once they had become 18, these single mothers actually got an apartment together. And they lived together and they learned each other's lullabies and they could sing each other's lullabies, and they had a little group home that they created because they were having difficulties with their own families. They were working, they were supporting their children, and they were using lullaby as sort of the glue. And we thought that was an amazing outcome and an unexpected one, given that all we were really trying to do was to give them some song.
So where can people find more information about the Lullaby Project?
Just go to carnegiehall.org/lullaby. That'll open the window to lots of different places. We have a soundcloud.com site with over 450 lullabies that have been created over the last 5-6 years from all over the country. And we're constantly adding partners, so if people are interested, they can also contact us through carnegiehall.org/lullaby.
Great. Thomas, thank you so much for being here. It was a real honor, and now I feel a little more confident being able to sing to my own children.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
If you know someone who would be a great fit for the show, come on over to ingeniousbaby.com and share your tips and story ideas. You are your baby's first and best teacher.